the price of diesel, $5.77 is the average across the country. Many places paying well over $6, There's no way this can continue without hurting more and more people pretty much daily, because the prices on the grocery shelves or at Home Depot or at Walmart or wherever people shop continue to go up. And the people that get hurt the most are those that can least afford it. Yes?
That is correct.
So how far can we go, Brian? How far can we go before the economy stops? Because at some point, truckers are going to say, well, at $6, I can't drive anymore. $6.50, I can't drive. And it's showing no sign of slowing down, right?
It's not showing any signs of slowing down. Our customers are all understanding. They're passing it on to every good that the consumer is buying. And we continue to spend $1,100, $1,200 each fill up every 1,000 miles.
And so what does that mean? What does that mean for somebody like you, right? $1,000, $1,100, $1,200 to fill one of the 18-wheelers. You run what, just about 40 trucks at your operation, from what I recall. This is $40,000 to fill the trucks that day, $50,000. Where does it become a point where Brian Hitchcock goes, you know what? I can't do that anymore.
Well, it's always a very big concern, because it's how much capital cash do you have? And your credit cards will get maxed out, your bank accounts will go empty, and you'll be waiting for your next check to pay for your fuel. Fuel and payroll are the two biggest things that have to happen weekly.
And what about these folks, these owner-operators, right? The owner-operators that get paid a set rate per mile. That's how it works, right? A set rate per mile. And at some point, the set rate per mile isn't worth pulling out of the driveway, is it?
Not if he doesn't get a surcharge. And again, you've got to have that surcharge. You've got to be on top of your game every week with your customer and saying, look, I can't do it for last week's rate. And
do you have that flexibility? Of course it does, but do you have that flexibility? In a contract, in places where I've worked, you sign a contract, that's the contract you live with for 6 months or a year, whatever it is. There aren't provisions to say, well, unless the economy goes sideways, because we have people in Washington that don't know what they're doing, but you have the flexibility to do that to a point. But at some point, don't your customers say, you know what, I don't want another delivery of whatever it is, because the customer is no longer buying it because it hit a price point where the customer, the average American, says, I can't buy that anymore, whatever it may be.
And that's next. That's going to be everything next that the consumer does not need. Right? He doesn't need to go on vacation. He doesn't need to go to the RV park. He doesn't need to go bowling. Doesn't need to go to the to the local restaurant. And because all that's connected. And again, we as truckers, we've been abused in this situation before, and we went out of business trying to stay in the fuel business. So we got wiser to stay in business, and we said, look, we have to have weekly fuel negotiations, and if you don't have that, you get yourself in a situation that can run you out of business. But today, we're a lot smarter business people because of our government. we have to get ourselves set up for failure. What are they going to do to us next?
Well, and that's a fair question. So here I'm looking at the oil prices. Oil climbs back over $123 a barrel. So I ask you, obviously you're in the mix all the time, Brian. What are you hearing? What is the prediction for the price of diesel a month from now or 6 months from now? You've got some inkling of what's coming down, because you have to know, because that's your job to know. And are we going to be at $7, $7.50? What?
It's clearly a possibility, because the West Coast hits that. So whatever the West Coast hits, the Midwest and the East will get. Well, where does it stop? When will enough be enough? And that's on the consumer, right? That's when the natural buyer of everything says, I'm not going to buy no more. Because the world keeps churning. But the necessities that we are buying extra can stop. And that's what will happen. We'll have another economy crash.
Comes down to the basics. And I know you're old enough that you and I grew up in the same part of the country. We saw General Motors plants close. We saw Motor Wheel close and John Bean. And, you know, when I was growing up, I saw kids lose everything because both their parents lost their jobs because of the reckless policies of Jimmy Carter in the late 1970s into 1980. It was, and a lot of people today are not old enough to remember any of this. They've never seen this before. You and I have, Brian. And it's a damn frightening place to be. I'll give you the last word.
Steve, I just pray that our day is coming that this all comes out and we understand why we got here. Because that's the ignorance today that drives us all crazy.
No, I know why we got here. Bad energy policy.